Yeah, I think obviously, I'm not going to get into the specifics of this because it's a delicate situation. But for us, ultimately, the most important thing for us is the health and welfare of our players and make sure that they're in a really, really good place. And we love Joe, and we support Joe, and he has been a huge part of our program. We'll continue to.
What are your options for replacing him, James, as a kickoff specialist?
Well, you got Tyler, who I think would really like to do it. I think Tyler has some aspirations of wanting to kick in the NFL one day, so being able to do both would be important for him. He has the ability to do that. Blake Gillikin is a guy who did all three in high school, punt, kickoff, and field goals, and was pretty good at it. And then obviously we got Alex Barkley. So there's some options there as well. We'll kind of see how this thing plays out. It's not ideal, but we've got a really good situation where I have one of the better kickoff guys in the country, one of the better punters in the country, one of the better field goal guys in the country. And I think when you limit how many things they have to do, it's helpful. So we'll just see how this kind of plays out. We have to solve our kickoff guy. We have to solve our long snapping situation during camp on special teams. I think in general, Saquon's a guy, when your best player, arguably your best player, is going to class every single day and doing really well academically, when he goes to the weight room and is pushing everybody to be the best in the weight room, when he's out on the practice field, he's leading and going hard every single rep, it's kind of hard for the other guys not to. They say Saquon Barkley is one of the most talented guys I've ever seen in my life, and he is one of the hardest working guys. How can I not do that? So I think when your best players are your best teammates and your hardest working guys, it sets the tone for the whole organization. And in a lot of ways, to be honest with you, Saquon's been like that since the day he stepped on campus. He has trusted us, and whatever we've asked him to do, he's done it 110%. And I think he's a great example of why he's been able to maximize his experience so far, at Penn State, is because of that. Obviously he's a really, really talented guy, and that's part of it as well. The genetics are strong. Mom and Dad did a great job. I'm actually trying to figure out if it's legal NCAA-wise. I want to send Mom and Dad on a romantic vacation and try to convince them to have more children, because the Saquon thing's worked out pretty well. But he's a special guy, and really got a special family. I think as you guys get to know him better, Mom and Dad are, could not be more direct, could not be more honest. Football's not a big deal in their family. They're a unique, special family. We've got a lot of respect for them. No, we're really set. I think you guys know we do a staff retreat every single year, so that's kind of the time when we get together and go to a different part of the state. Every single year. We're going to Scranton this year, and we'll sit down and go through everything in detail. Where that's important is when you lose staff members and new staff members come in. If you're not careful, over time, your culture will start to break down because you haven't taken the time to talk philosophy and the things that are truly important to you. So as you lose one or two guys per year, if you don't do that 5 years from now, people don't really understand the organization, what's truly most important. So we take time to do it. I think for some of the old guys, it can be painful at times to talk about philosophy every single year. But it's something that I really believe in. When I was with the Green Bay Packers, we did it. It was one of those things that I wrote down and said, if I'm ever a head coach, it's something I'm going to do. I think it's really important. So we got that to do. And then I think, as you guys know, like I mentioned, we got to figure out our long snapping situation. Feel good about Kyle Vasey, but we'll see. We got to figure out who our kickoff is going to be. How do we replace Chris Godwin? I don't think it's going to be by an individual. I think it's going to be a group of people. How do we replace our defensive ends and make sure that those guys are going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback and play consistently the way we need them to play. So there's a few question marks out there, but for us, I think we probably have less question marks than most. But I also think that's what's great about college football. We also have a talented group of young men coming in, and who from that group is going to be able to contribute this year. And it's a completely different situation than it was 3 years ago, because we probably don't need any of them. So whoever's able to help this year is icing on the cake. They're just adding value to kind of where we're at already, and that's kind of where you ultimately want and need to be.
Thanks, Coach.